Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi, it's Dale Beaumont and welcome back to Design My Website. In this one, we're going to be going in a different direction. We're going to be talking about an e-commerce website. So if you need an e-commerce website, this video is all about how to actually plan it out. So we realize it may not be relevant for every single person, and if it's not, then you can check out some of the other episodes as part of the Design My Website series. But if you're here right now, we're going to assume that you want to start selling products or services online, and you're going to need to have figured out a few things, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about right here, right now. Joining me here in the studio, we have Tamsin Rothschild and also Chris Walker, and together their company has been responsible for building over 4,000 websites, and hundreds of those websites have involved e-commerce. So they know all the different platforms that are out there, and it can help you decide which one is right for you. And we're going to be answering some other really important questions as well about selecting the right platform, about loading in all of your content that you have as well, how to decide what type of checkout system that you need, payment gateways, merchant accounts, and a whole bunch of other things as well. So we've got a lot to get through, and we're going to underway right now. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so e-commerce, really exciting topic, helping people to actually make money online, which is the goal, of course, for many businesses. Now, it doesn't really matter whether it be a products business, that's obviously fairly obvious, right? But even service companies now are now starting to sell service packages online as well. So it's really relevant to a lot of people. Now, when it comes to building an e-commerce website, what are a few of the things that we need to know in order to get started? Tamsin?
So to start with, it's all the things we've already covered. You know, have your branding in place, you know, have your target market in place, but then there's a whole lot more that you need to consider with e-commerce. So it's things like, are you going to be selling digital products or online products? So as you were saying, like sort of workshops or, you know, online, you know, products.
Courses or ebooks, or it could be a video training series.
Exactly.
Basically, you're selling you're selling bits and bytes, sort of, so to speak. It's just all delivered electronically, nothing to ship.
Yep. Or physical products.
Physical
The
products.
other thing is, are you focused on domestic or international? And obviously, if you're selling physical products, that's going to be more relevant. Are you going to be selling retail, or are you going to be selling wholesale? Those are the main sort of things to consider when you are, you know, setting foot.
Okay, getting ready. But the thing to really re-mention there is that all the other episodes we've created as part of this series are still really important in terms of getting the content right, the images, having videos on the site. All the same principles apply, but now we actually need a way of actually getting people to take action on our website and buy our product or our services. Now, Chris, there are lots of different platforms that are out there. How do we kind of choose the right one for our business?
So it'll depend on a number of different things. It'll depend on the types of products that you're selling. It'll depend on your budget. So, for example, you know, if you're just starting out, you might want to use something like Shopify. That's you know, you can buy a template and you can you know, you're basically set up and ready to go. Whereas if you're a bigger company and you have more products, you might need something more custom. So that would be where you would do a WooCommerce site or a Magento site. So yeah, I mean, they're essentially the main things. I mean, you want to make sure that the platform that you choose is going to do what you need to. Also, ongoing costs with the platform as well. So if it's a hosted solution like Shopify, for example, they charge fees for every transaction you make, and there's monthly hosting and maintenance fees. So they're the kind of things to consider.
Okay, and we've got on the screen right now a few of the, not all of the options, but a few of the main ones. Shopify, which you've mentioned as well, which is kind of like a hosted solution, but they take a percentage of your sales, so you have to see if that's right for you. Good for getting started.
Definitely good for getting started.
However, if you're selling a large volume, then that extra cost could add up over time. Magento, which is kind of lot for really bigger solutions, right? Sort of more enterprise, maybe thousands of products.
Yeah, if you're getting into thousands of products and then more customized functionality, a lot of these platforms have out of the box of your typical things that you need to make purchases. But if that's not quite meeting the needs of your products, then you might want to go down the line of something like Magento that offers more customized solutions.
Okay, and BigCommerce is another great solution as well, similar to Shopify, but their fee structure is a little bit different, but a lot of it is already pre-built, so you don't have to do it all from scratch. But what about WooCommerce? And that's the main one that you guys work with. Why have you chosen WooCommerce as the main shopping cart system that you use in your company?
WooCommerce has come. WordPress traditionally wasn't known as an e-commerce platform, but over the last couple of years with WooCommerce coming leaps and bounds, it's a really sophisticated e-commerce solution, which we find for most of our businesses. We used to use a different system, but we've switched over to WooCommerce because it offers most of the functionality that people need. There's quite a bit of customizing that you can do as well. So there's some bigger websites out there now that are using WooCommerce. So if you're a business, for example, and you already have a WordPress site, and then you've decided that you want to start selling products, it's quite a simple process to then add on WooCommerce.
Okay, so we've spoken about before WordPress being an open source website that comes built with a CMS or a content management system, so you can make changes to the website yourself. So WooCommerce is kind of like an add-on or extension to a WordPress website to give you all of the shopping cart capabilities, but within a WordPress
and
framework.
all the benefits of WordPress.
Yeah.
Because some of the traditional shopping carts can be limited with the website features that you're looking for. So some of them might not have blogs or might not do content as well as a full-blown normal website like WordPress. So it gives you both the benefit of both.
And would it be right to say that with some of these other ones, the system is fairly fixed or sort of rigid? You have to kind of work within their boundaries or constraints. But with WooCommerce, you can actually make changes and you can customize what you have around your products, or if you want different add-ons or extensions, there's just more flexibility.
Yeah, that's right. And being open source, there's a lot of people working on it, so there's a lot of different plugins that are being added all the time. So functionality, it's kind of like you work out what you need in your site, and you can just add on the bits that are relevant to your business.
And in terms of costs, WooCommerce doesn't take a monthly fee of transactions. No. Is it just a one-time purchase, or how does it work?
It's the actual plugin itself for WooCommerce is free, but the functionality, the add-ons and plugins that go into that, there's generally a fee for those. Some of them are a one-off fee, and some of them there might be a yearly fee if you want support from that particular functionality. Not necessary, but it's optional.
Okay, great. So when it comes to making a decision, this is where you would talk to your website developer, see if they have a preference, do some online research, and find which one would be right for you. But I'm guessing the next question is, are all of these responsive these days and work on all mobile platforms?
They should be.
They should be.
Yeah, if it's not responsive, then it wouldn't be the right platform.
Move on to something that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to these other ones, Shopify and BigCommerce, are they an all-in-one solution? Meaning, if I want to have just a company information page, or another page about our frequently asked questions, or I even wanted to have a blog, can you get blogs on? We know it's built into WordPress, so that's kind of easy. But are those other pages available? And can you get a custom domain? So can you put it on the domain name that you choose?
So yes, you should be able to put it on your own domain. They should be. Most of the systems now are built to be a full functioning website, so you should be able to get those pages. The functionality, a blog, for example, mightn't be as might have as much flexibility as, say, a WordPress one. So they generally do have what you need. Some people do, though, if they've got different arms of their businesses, might have a WordPress site. We have clients that have a WordPress site, and then they use it. Then they use a shop. They use a different shopping platform like a Shopify just to run their shop.
Yeah.
Shop site.
And once you have these systems in place, and obviously with WooCommerce as well, you can either choose to have your website developer add in your content, but that could become a costly exercise if they're adding in hundreds or thousands of kind of items. But you can do it yourself, right? If prices change, that's the whole benefit of having these type of systems. If the prices change, or if you run out of stock, you can just go in and click a button, and you can change that information yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you can really manage the content yourself. Okay, great. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, we're going to go deeper into how to select the right tool, but then how to start loading in all of your content as well. We'll talk about the differences between certain shopping carts, one whereby you can just check out instantly, and others where you can actually do an add to cart type of system. And then we're going to spend a bit of time talking about the all-important step of how to make sure that the money comes to you. So payment gateways, merchant accounts, and much more. So keep watching. Welcome back to this episode, which is titled Need an E-commerce Website? Then How to Plan It Out. Now, during the break, we were talking about the different systems that are there, and the important point that we wanted everyone to know was that it's worthwhile taking a couple of days to do your research on picking the right one, because it's quite challenging if you're using a system to then move the data after a couple of months, say for example, or a couple of years into another system. In fact, it's really difficult, and it could take you weeks or months to try and kind of get back to what you actually had. So really make sure that you do your research, talk to your developer, and make the right decision before you move forward. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, when we're talking about data, we're talking about the things to consider is users. So once you start selling, you're going to start getting users signing up and buying regularly from your website. And history
of the data of what they ordered and how much they spent and where they came from.
Yeah, so you might have a rewards program that you come across.
Yeah, right.
So it's users. You want to be thinking about users. Orders, do you need the order history? How important is order history going to be for you? And products, how easy is it going to be for you to export the products and move them to a new platform? Hopefully the platform that you're on will last forever, but things like Shopify, they're great to get started with, but will you outgrow them? And will it become too expensive? Because every transaction you're paying for, you might decide, oh, I'm big enough now to have my own website, and take responsibility for those things yourself. How am I going to get the information out?
And also for bigger businesses as well that may already have, say, a physical shop and they want to move online, they might have kind of inventory systems that are already in place. Is it possible to have these systems actually talk to your inventory system that you already have? I know that there's something called, which we're not going to talk about too much, APIs, where information can transfer between systems. Is that something to look at?
Yeah, definitely. If it's definitely possible. It depends on the platform, but with WooCommerce, for example, and APIs, there's a lot of like POS systems and inventory systems that you can link to your website. So it's definitely possible. It might involve some extra custom development, so there might be some extra costs involved in that, but it's possible on most of the major platforms.
Okay, so once you've chosen your platform and you've watched all of the other episodes, your content kind of planned out, then you're going to really engage a website developer, right, that specializes in these platforms. With some of the other ones, like the Shopify, you might be able to do some of it yourself, or you might work with someone that does this all day, every day. Now, let's talk about the content, because there are some people that might have maybe a handful of products, and so in which case they might just have a click to buy now and it goes straight to an order page. If there's really only, if there's 3 options and they can only choose one, then that's kind of easy. But then if there are hundreds or thousands of products, people may want to pick and choose, and you have the kind of like the add to cart type of a system. But both of those different options, whether it's one-click purchases or add to cart, they're available in all of those systems. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If you're somebody like an author that's written 4 books, I don't think you need a commerce website. You wouldn't need all of that functionality with a simple WordPress website. There are, simple ways that you can do it. I mean, there's little plugins, like a PayPal plugin, so you can have just a page with buy now, or you could have it on Amazon and just have a link to buy now on Amazon, and then it goes through. So you really wouldn't.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.